Alright people, as you can tell today, I am sweating. So we're going to start this off really quick. Okay, we're going to get this started off right today, even though I did start this off in portrait mode instead of landscape mode. But with that being said, we are definitely going to do a lot more than we did in the last video. If you didn't see that, it'll be posted up here somewhere, or maybe it's over here. I'm still new at this, and I'm not sure with the whole reversed selfie. With that being said, let's get started, and let's get on with this, because it's hot out today. There's the bus, that's where we're getting started off at. Let's go with the inside. I've already got a lot of the windows propped open because, again, I said it's hot. It's sweltering. I mean, if you didn't see my face, I'm sure it's got like a gallon of water on it right now. But as you seen in the last one, we'd already disassembled a lot of this. Yeah, try saying that twice. But we disassembled a lot of this, and again, it's because we're trying to recycle a lot of it. As you can see there, we're going to pull out the steel. We may use it, incorporate it inside of here since I weld and stuff like that. It could be useful to create a lot of framing and structure, but then again, it's also heavy, so who knows? I haven't weighed out the two of steel or aluminum, so in tubular form, it may be lighter. But I'm not going to bore you with a whole lot of talk. The plan is to get all these out today along here. Then I hope to get this out. As you've seen in the last video, we started on it. It should be disconnected because all the screws are removed, but that stuff's not moving. So we got some of the tubes out. They're sitting in the back there. So we still got to do a few more things. But other than that, my plan right now is to get that done. So you're going to see a time lapse of that. Hopefully you guys don't get bored of it, because I know sitting and watching me just wrench and talk would definitely be boring. It bores me, so it'll bore you, I'm sure. So let's get on this. I'm sure as you just seen, I just got these two out. They're now sitting here. So technically this whole entire section here, the whole back section, these are just sitting here. The only thing I gotta do is rip out that right there, which I just ripped out there. And there's a lot of nasty stuff underneath there. As you can see, there's a lot of road salt and debris and all kinds of craziness. Yeah, this whole area right in here, let me zoom out a little bit. So this whole area right in here is all done with plywood, I found out. So, well, that's metal. That's obviously metal. Yeah. But the rest of this floor, as you can see, obviously right here, is plywood. Okay, so an interesting story. When we were at the pool this week, I ran into one of the guys who actually does the tank bus locally here in our area. Which tank is Transit something, I don't know, something of Kentucky. I ran into him, and he basically seen this bus at our local mall, which is pretty much dying. As you know, all malls are dying. Regardless, he seen it there, and he commented on one of the local neighborhood groups that basically was kind of negative Nancy about the bus. But he was actually all for it because, of course, he's for the transit system. But he also told me I can actually get a hold of a few other buses, which is great, or any parts that I want, or maybe do some trading for some of the other stuff. He basically explained to me that the whole entire bottom of this bus in the back section is all plywood, so that's going to be kind of fun. But at the same time, it's easier to build on than actually dealing with the actual floor. As I said, with this, he said it's either aluminum or steel. He wasn't absolutely sure, but he thinks it's aluminum. I'm not sure because I haven't ripped up any of the fabric yet, but I'll try to find out one way or the other. Hopefully I can get it done with tearing out the seats, if all the seats come out as easily as that, which I seriously doubt, because the missus likes to organize. The only downside is she put it on a chair that we have to take out. Been nice if they would have been back there, because we're not taking them out yet. And again, you still got to guess what's up there. But I'm not going to tease anymore. It's going to happen here soon. You're going to see a picture that I've been kind of editing to show the height of the roof being raised, or other features taken in or out of the outside of the bus. That part probably will be shown either from the inside or maybe from the outside. Stay tuned for that. But now I got to move all of that, these, and some other random bits. But that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you can get the gist. There's a lot. Almost there. Okay, people, I'm gonna take a small break for right now. Needless to say, it's really hot, and I got 5 of them out. 5. As you can see, with that ugly box too. I think that's some kind of form of heater box. I'm not sure. It's got some kind of weird grate mesh on it. Got all that out. That is securely attached. So I'm guessing this box right here is steel. So, and I got another one of them ugly boxes right here, which of course is going to go gone. So we made a big step. The only thing you see in front of me is the only thing left. All the rest of it is out, except for it's still kind of in the bus. And then you got the back section back there. But I'm not sure how that comes out. But I'm going to go get some water because I am drenched. Like, this is not, you can see a dry spot. I don't know how there's a dry spot. There's like a few dry spots. And again, if you didn't see it in some of the other videos, this is a Bluetooth device that allows me to talk while on the radio for hands-free, because a lot of states require that when you have a CDL or any kind of commercial driving. So that's the reason for that. It's not a 1980s headset. It does look like it though, and it feels like it too. But don't let that discourage you. The Blue Parrots are junk. This was bought off of Amazon. We got an Amazon influencer page. I'm going to try to link it in this video, and I'm going to try to link this. I don't want it to go up in value, but it's like 20 something bucks, 23, maybe 29, or at least at the time that I bought it. There is some other ones, but this is MPOW, something like that. It actually works really well. Battery life, I think it's over 15 hours of talk time straight, like just non-stop talking if you really feel to talk for 15 hours. And then for standby time, I probably charge it maybe every 4 days if I'm just going to kind of casually use it. Really good. But again, if we do the Amazon influencer page, which we have set up, Amazon's kind of give us a little bit of whatever because we're a new page, but I'll give you the link, and that way you can help us out by us helping you out with trying to find good deals on stuff that really work, that we've tested and we approve of. We do a lot of Amazon shopping, unfortunately. Some of the stuff you can't buy anywhere else, and they have a great return policy for the most part, which a lot of places don't, like Best Buy. Not trying to slam you, Best Buy, but you don't. You burnt me several times, and you burn everybody else out now. So if you click on anything else and you buy anything else after you click on our link, it helps us out still too. You can buy a pair of jeans, anything else that we haven't suggested, but it helps us out. So we would appreciate that because we got a lot in expense on this thing. So done with the talking. I'm going to go get me some water. I need it bad. Okay, people, I'm back at it. Man, it's hot. Some of you have kind of been wanting to see this and that. So I've already taken the liberty of popping this open. It's nasty. Try to stabilize my hand as much as possible. But there is a lot of stuff here. Even a control panel of some sort. But one thing I like is I see some nice sized copper wiring. Yeah. So I had to pull out the hood prop. That made it so much easier. But as you can see, these have to be some kind of solenoids or relay type style things. But I usually go with solenoids because they're round. They have a 12 volt switch of some sort. And then I'm sure these are a constant of some sort that transfers additional power to other places. Being that it is green and white, kind of makes me wonder if it is actually high voltage instead of low voltage. In other words, high voltage being greater than 24 volts. I'm not familiar with these systems. I could do some tests, but it does have a 15 amp breaker on it. So 15 amps, of course, is used in automotive and in house. Being that it's this style, though, I'm assuming it's automotive because it's a lot of automotive relays. But you can use a lot of automotive relays to do the same thing. That's a big motherboard. I'm sure that thing's expensive. Easiest way to tell that's a motherboard is a COM port and some of the jumpers there. You can see them. But yeah, you got the relays as well, so it's able to be figured out. I will let you in on a little secret. This won't be used. This will be gone. So, bye-bye. Yes, that's the actual AC unit though. It's made by a Carrier. So if anybody is interested, I don't have any intent on it. The actual compressor itself is bad. Now on to the goody stuff. I got everything else pop loose. And that's a lot of brainchild stuff and a lot of redundancy stuff that's on this. And then that goes out to the main engine harness. But this is all the stuff that's on this bus. All powered by breakers, relays. There are some really cool breakers actually. Look at the size of that cable. That's the same size as my finger, and let me tell you, I have big hands. Maybe an odd size cable, that's for sure. Here's something disconnected. Not sure what that is. There's a lot of stuff here. But, as I was explaining earlier, I'm kind of grateful that I actually ran into one of the bus people in our local area that does transit buses, the same style. Of course, all their stuff is a lot newer. They have a whiz who knows all this ins and outs. So that says 12 volt DC. This is a 24 volt system, as in this bus is 24 volt, but this right here is 12 volt. So that means there's a converter, which basically a converter breaks down 24 volts and converts it into 12 volts. And an inverter inverts 12 volts or 24 volts and turns it into usable sine wave power, which is for your home electrics and stuff like that. But you always want a pure sine wave, people. You always want a pure sine wave. Never modified and never adaptive or something like that. You don't want that either. You want a pure sine wave that's 60 hertz. That way your stuff doesn't burn up because it's a true up and down wave. The other one's step. And it gets up to that and it just turns the voltage up, turns it slightly down, slightly down, slightly down, but it's not a perfect thing and it burns motors up because motors don't know how to deal with that, and neither do sensitive electronics, especially solid states and stuff like that. There's some serious bus bars in here. So that's yellow, so that's switchable. That's your constant ground, because grounding cable, at least all this stuff is wired and labeled BAT 24 volts. Oh, so the yellow is 12 volts. As you can see there, 24 volts. Battery 12, so that's 12 volt, that's 24, and that's just a common ground, I guess, or chassis ground. All right, I've talked enough. ABS diagnostic, so it has an ABS, economy and power. So you can see in this next clip that's about to come up after this that I am currently editing, that I did not record a lead up to this part, but basically I had switched position, felt that I wanted to take out that back wall. So you will see that here in a sec. I'm going to show you what I got going on and why I'm struggling. Okay, so see them right there? And of course I've taken them already out. And some of the other stuff. I don't have to take that out, which is them right there. And this whole thing is loose. I have that radio up there. But as you can tell, this right here is attached to that. What don't you see on that back wall? You don't see what I don't see, but I do see them bolts. Them are really tiny bolts actually. They look really big on this phone for whatever reason, but they're like an 8mm. They look like a 10mm on this video. But I gotta get them out, I guess, first. Disconnect the radio, which, as I said, I was gonna move probably in that blank spot right there, because that just seems like a horrible location for a radio, especially when you want to change channels and whatnot. I would locate it somewhere closer, but I'm assuming that the power wires are somewhere right in there. And I'm not saying that I'm lazy, but I'm saying that I got a lot of stuff to do already, and that is not high on the priority list. But let's face it, we gotta have tunes. So it's probably just gonna go there. And then eventually down the road, you'll probably see an upgrade and we won't have that radio anymore at all. Because who likes that style radio? Doesn't even have a brand name. Again, that's allocated stuff. Everybody likes touchscreens now. Touch, 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 touch. Who knows? I might even do like one step further and put like a iTab. And when I say an iTab, I mean like an iPad or a tab. Samsung or Apple. I mean, that's, let's face it, people, that is pretty much the flagship companies at this point when it comes to touchscreen things, and you find the most compatibility with other products. So I'm not an Apple fan. We do have some Apple products. She loves Apple. I'm a Samsung fan. Let's get back on this though. See you in a sec. Alright people, as you've seen, I just got all this out. And if you're wondering why I haven't done this, again, it's because it's hot like this. Like, remember that dry spot? It didn't take but like a few seconds, and you don't need to go any lower. It'd be awkward. Let's face it. You don't want to see it, and I don't want to show it, but you can get a general idea. It's wet. There's some screws here, gotta take out. Same way right there. As you can see, that wire for the radio is really long. I don't know what the deal is with this, because anybody who's ever done stereo 1 knows don't leave that exposed. Then you have the 12 volt switching source, and then they ran the 12 volt switchable to the same thing. Whoever installed this radio didn't know what they were doing, or just didn't care. Probably a combination of both. This is usually for your illumination lights, at least the orange is. I'm not sure what that red was before. Without my multimeter here, I wouldn't be able to tell. Of course, these are speaker wires. For people who don't know, you got your left and right channels, and these blue probably are remote wires. They are labeled with arbitrary numbers. So, but yeah, the gray and the green are usually speaker wires. Them are power wires. And so as you can see, whoops, zoom out, focus in. So we do have a ground there. I'm not sure where it's pulling the ground from, unless there's 3 grays there, and I'm not seeing 3 grays. So that blue wire is shown as a speaker wire. That gray is shown as a speaker wire. That gray and that green is shown as a speaker wire. No, hold on here. Blue and gray, blue and gray. Yeah, who cares? All right. Regardless, we gotta get these screws out and then see what's behind that panel, because it's dying inside my head to figure that out. I can access this panel, which is above my head. It's got tanks in it from this side, but I have to pop that panel off, which I think, yeah, that's plastic too. As you can see in there's a big tank that says University of Michigan, but there's 2 of them. There are air tanks that run this entire bus that kind of create this whole annealing system and whatnot. There's some screws. I can actually take that all apart and just remove it. That is the plan, though. We are trying to figure out how, let me zoom out a little bit here. We are trying to figure out how to put our bed in this area. These are 8-foot ceilings. So again, 8 foot. I can't reach. I'm on my tippy toes and still can't reach. But when you go back to that back part back there, that actually is a lot closer. It's a 2-foot difference. We're gonna raise this roof, all of this roof. I'm not sure if we're gonna raise it from here and then up, which I have a drawing of that I will be sharing later on, with this raised up, and then I have it with just from here up raised 2 feet. Don't know if it's actually scaled 2 feet and things I'm doing, because I'm new to cropping, chopping, and extending, stretching, and modifying things, and GIMP is the program I chose because Photoshop costs a lot, and I'm not one of them kind of photo editors. So GIMP's a pretty good. So for the people who like free stuff, check out GIMP. It is the top of the line of the free products for people who like Windows, Macs, and for iPads. It does work on Linux. One of the other ones doesn't, but I think that's probably Photoshop. I can almost swear it's Photoshop. It only works on iPad, Apple computers, and Windows. But let's get tearing at this. Alright people, as you've seen, I got that out. I had to knock some rivets out. That's why Abby wears her glasses around me, because sometimes if you can't get stuff done, you pull out the hammer. Sometimes you pull out the big gun, in this case a screwdriver, and when it wouldn't go, pull out a bigger screwdriver. Then you whack it as hard as you can. Shh, I didn't say anything bad, but you hit it as hard as you can. As you can see, all of that. But I got a screw stuck. That was the reason why part of it even occurred in the first place. Lord help me. That's a lot of stuff. As you can see, again, I got big hands. That is a huge hose filled with wires and whatnot. And then all the cables back there are air lines. I don't know if that's all air lines or if that's power cable, but I gotta definitely take my cautions with it, except for this. I know that right there is stereo wire, this right here. Other than that, the rest of it's got to go or moved or something. But I think it's all because of the stuff up above here. As you can see, people, there's a lot behind there. You see me in the video rip it down. But yeah, there's a lot going on behind all that. And I do mean a lot. Like, to give you an idea, the average hammer, that's a huge amount. Like, perspective hammer, that, and a lot of that up there. Alright, I'm going to see about trying to take this down. Hopefully all the rest of that stuff stays up there. But I guess you'll find out when I find out. So as you've just seen, I just got that part down. Man, I'm telling you, my shorts and everything are completely soaked. Like, it looks like I've been in a swimming pool. That's how hot it is. So, people, I warn you ahead of time. Like, you can hear the sweat dripping off. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, it's gross. It's that hot. I'm glad I got a jug of water. Drank my rock stars and whatnot. Didn't have any body armor today. It is what it is. And now I got to work on this front side here. So I'm going to set you up in time lapse again so you can see that. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that part because that's riveted it. But let's get at it. Well, I'm sure, people, as you could have seen, I fell. Did my hand on that, and I did cut it. Not that it's all that bad. It is bleeding, but I got stuff that's kind of like sitting on it. That, I don't know if I have any blood left in my body from all the injuries that I've gotten over the years. I can't say that. My spleen laceration proved that I still have some. I got to keep it, even if it was a class 3. That was from BMX racing. But as you can see, I'm not sure how well this is focusing, but there you go. So I got all that out, and that's undone. Ironically, the rivets are through that metal bracket up there. And they used, I guess, a stainless steel or some kind of steel rivet instead of aluminum, which would be dissimilar metal again. I don't know why they do that. Because that last piece that I took down from here had aluminum rivets in it. Makes no sense why you would use stainless steel. Granted, it is stronger, but again, not like that piece right there was any structural piece. That may be, but still, there was enough bracing there and there and there that went over to a bracket here, which was held up with a panel. I took the panel out. That was like the first thing I did. It was rattling from day one. I couldn't drive the bus with it. The drive, I was freaking out and driving myself insane. So, whew, there's a lot of stuff in there. And as you can tell from this side, if I can get that to open up from down here, but it's a whole lot more of the stuff like you see in the back there, but right there. So I may call it a day. If I don't call it a day, because of all that stuff back there, and I start actually working on getting them out, which I think I'm going to do because we're kind of in the sunset stage, as you can kind of tell. Maybe work on that, get that taken care of, because I can't do anything with that right now. I guess I'm going to have to bring a grinder. I got my generator with me, but again, like last time, I didn't bring any extension cord or anything else because I didn't think I was going to be messing with rivets. I was going to save that all for one day of aggravating nastiness, and I didn't want to get really nasty today, even though I should have expected it. But I didn't expect to be as soaked as I am or as hot as it is. So, I guess we'll have to get on that. Well, as you can see, people, I succeeded at getting that channel out. Now I have screws, but there's a lot of them, and I mean a lot. And I'm not going to sit here and do them all by arm and wrist and in the hot heat. I'm just going to bring down my battery pack setup. I need to do that for a few other options too. I'm sure for like the impact and whatnot. It makes some of this go better, but I don't want to listen to an impact the entire time. So I'm going to start on these, as I said I was going to do in the first place. I was just kind of excited that I found that little hidden gem of a little piece hiding screws. I did find something cool though. I found that thing. Well, I don't know if I can. No, it's not wanting to focus. But yeah, it's got a bunch of wires to go into it. I'm assuming it's some kind of communication system, because there's a PA system on this thing that I think was allowing them to talk at one point in time. I think it used to go there, or it might be a part of that system, or that, I'm not sure. But what's cool though is you can actually use this and talk to everybody on the bus by using that switch, PA volume and speaker volume, and then of course one of the switches. Well people, as you can see, I accomplished the most part. I still have that seat, and this seat. But they are more difficult to get out due to the simple fact that they are corroded. As you can see, them bolts right there, they go through the floor. I have to get underneath of this thing, and I'm not looking forward to that. I may look for alternative ideas on that one. Got a bunch of little weird stuff all over the place, like people's trash that still gets stuck on these buses. I found so many pins, random things. I hope that's not what I think it is. And some coins and change. Who knows, maybe I found an old lottery ticket. That'd be kind of cool. Watch it be one that was something where somebody was supposed to win. But a lot of stuff, as I said, it's corroded. I could probably get the seatbelt stuff out, but it's getting late in the day, like real late. That's probably like 9 o'clock at night. But because we're in that time of the year where sun sets kind of differently, it's a great thing. But I got a lot of stuff to do something with. We got a lot of stuff accomplished. I am sweating well, you can imagine, I'm just sweating a lot. But there's a big amount of progress. Hopefully next time we'll have this stuff swept up, cleaned up, and this stuff gone, hopefully. I would like that to be an accomplishment. Not necessarily a video in itself, but still an accomplishment. A lot of this stuff is aluminum, or aluminium for your people in the other part of the sea, or across the pond, as some people like to say it. A lot of this is actually stainless steel and aluminum, or aluminium. I don't know if you have another term for stainless steel or not, but here in the States, we just call it stainless steel. So if you call it something else in another country, other than like a country that doesn't speak the English language, then comment if you guys call stainless steel, or you guys call it something else. With that being said, I think I'm done. A successful day, a very hot one. If you're planning on doing one of these, be prepared. There is a lot of stuff that you got to deal with. Try to do it possibly close to spring, early spring, maybe late fall, especially if you live in an area that's like 80, 90 degrees, because inside the bus it's about 100. I have all the windows in, but I have them open, and it's still hot in here. Very. For anybody looking to get into a bus, there is a lot of stuff to get into. If you love a challenge, especially a transit bus, if you love a challenge and you love everything that associates with a transit bus, and really challenging your mind, because a school bus doesn't have any of this stuff. It doesn't need any of it. It doesn't need the redundancies that this thing has. And when I say redundancies, that door right there, if that door doesn't close just right, this bus won't move. The brakes will not disengage. So you have to know how to disable that system and get around it, because you may be stuck somewhere if that door doesn't hit the sensor just right. Same way with the front door. That front door, same way. If that door doesn't shut right, it won't go anywhere. There's a few more things that if something up there goes wrong, something over there goes wrong, and God forbid anything back there goes wrong, the bus will sit unless you know how to disable it to get it going. Even if the air ride suspension, because this is a low boy, this sits lower, see by them pieces of panel there, it's a low boy. The other way of telling is because there's a step back here and no steps up there. But since this is a low boy, if for whatever reason it's stuck in the kneel position and it doesn't come back up, you're stuck again. Unless you know how to disable it, to get it back to wherever you need to get it back to fix whatever problem it is. I'm not telling you not to get one. If I bought one, you can buy one. If I can do it, you can do it. And it's not that I think that everybody's capable or skilled enough, I should say. It definitely takes one of them people that's a jack of all trades, master of none, because a jack of all trades is still better than a master of one. But you're going to have to bring your skills to the table, people. Get ready for it. I hope that maybe somehow I can help you guys with some of these videos that you can kind of follow along, because there's not a lot of information out there. I researched a lot. I have access to people and to other things to help me with this. So I'll try to bring you along and keep you guys informed. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. All right? With that being said, peace out. Or as some people say, peace, love, and motor grease. In this case, it's a lot of sweat. No tears yet. But I'm sure there will be some heartaches. That being said, gone. Bye-bye. Alright people, while I was waiting on my friend to show up, because he needs a ride back, I went ahead and took out these 4 screws. I don't know why there was 4 of them on this side, but as you can see, there's just rivets on this side. There's nothing, like, I guess maybe because it only goes to there, and there's nothing there or behind there, so who knows, but there's a little extra that's coming out. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to put this down. Rubber hammer, people. Again, I don't get why this is done separately. Doesn't make sense. Then nothing really does. But now I have rivets on this, which again, I gotta get my finger out of the way. But again, I'm not sure why they did rivets on that and then bolted it, because there's no reason for it. There's nothing really different over here other than you can't really go out anywhere. There was this beam here, maybe because you can't get out that window. Maybe if you're small enough to get out that little top part. Whereas this one has the emergency exit so you can get out. So maybe that's what it's for. Not sure, don't know. But boat not in water. I probably shouldn't do that in a funky sounding accent. It's my goofy voice. But boat not in water. There's something wrong with that. It almost looks like the boat off the shipwreck, Gilligan's Island. And this is called a gillig. Almost kind of like a Gilligan Island. Alright people, that's the last bit for today. I am done. You're done. We're all done. Just enjoy your day.